Good day, everyone. Glad to be here with you all today discussing the McAllen ISD Return to Traditional School Phase-In Plan. I'm here with Jake Berry, who's the producer of the Super Talk and also the webmaster for the district. And we wanted to take an opportunity to go through the question and answer portion of the Return to School Traditional Phase-In Plan. So, Jake, what do we have as far as questions from the community?
Dr. Gonzalez, our first question is, why has McAllen ISD decided to bring some students back to in-school learning on September 21st?
One thing to keep in mind is that McAllen ISD is following through with the mandate put out by the Texas Education Agency. So with regard to the September 21st date, this is in compliance with TEA. As you know, we started our remote program for students and staff on August 24th. 4 weeks, it takes us to the October 21st date. So for weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8 of our 8-week program, TEA is requiring us to have a face-to-face model. So this is why we have decided to take a small group of students and give them an opportunity through parent choice to have a face-to-face model.
And on September 21st, will families or staff have the choice on whether to participate?
Absolutely. Any student that qualifies for this program based on the assessment that they're going to take, we're going to look at students that aren't successful on the first try, and we're going to give them an opportunity to come to a face-to-face environment so that we can not only give them the educational perspective that we believe we can provide from the campus site, but also an opportunity to prepare and get ready for that assessment a second time. This will be optional. So any family members that have the opportunity, it would definitely be up to the family. As far as the staff members, we've identified essential employees that are going to take part in this program, so they won't have the choice on whether or not they want to take part in it. This part of the job as an essential employee. So we're looking at our physical education teacher assistants at the elementary sites. We're looking at our on-campus suspension teacher assistants at the middle school and high school levels. And we're also looking at the on-campus AEP teachers at the high school sites. And these will all be proctors. Students will continue to learn from their teacher of record that they've been learning from. The only difference is instead of learning from their living room or their bedroom, they'll be learning from a site somewhere in McAllen ISD.
Our third question is, on the 21st, the 21st program for select students, will they have the choice of doing half day or full day?
Yeah, at this point, we're looking at a full day program. We're going to have 9 elementary sites, and we will be listing those as we modify our plan. We'll be adding the 9 elementary sites to this plan. We're also going to have 6 middle school sites for this program, and we're going to have the 3 comprehensive high schools. So Mac High Road Memorial will serve as sites for the 21st small group program. And the elementary is going to run from 8 o'clock to 3:05. The middle school is going to run from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4:05, and the high school is going to run from 8:15 to 4:15. So these are all full day programs. I did want to emphasize once again that the teachers that are going to be at the sites are going to simply serve as proctors. Students will continue to learn from their teacher of record, and their teacher of record will continue to teach from their home.
Our fourth question states, why are all teachers being brought back to face-to-face instruction on September 21st if the 8-week period goes through October 19th?
So one thing to keep in mind is for the September 21st program, we're not bringing back all teachers. We have 1,588 teachers in the district. We're going to be bringing back 10 teachers and approximately 35 teacher assistants. So if you look at the teachers, the 10 teachers that we're going to be identifying as essential employees, out of the 1,588, you're looking at less than 1% of the teachers coming back. These individuals, again, will serve as proctors, and I did want to remind the staff that you're going to continue teaching from home unless you fall into the category of one of those that's going to be called upon to serve as a proctor.
Our next question is, how many students are we projecting will participate in the face-to-face instruction?
This is an assessment that we've given throughout the years, and we're anticipating a little over 1,200 students will qualify to take this assessment. And what we've seen over the last couple of years is that we have, and this is our best educated guess at this point in the game, is that approximately 50%, maybe a little bit over 50%, will not be successful on their first try. So we're looking at approximately 600 students that would have the option to come into the face-to-face program on September 21st. But what we've seen through surveys and things of that nature is that more or less 50% of parents are saying that they would be interested in a face-to-face model. So if you take the 600 and you divide that by 2, then looking at 50%, you have approximately 300 kids that'll be coming in from elementary to high school. So it's a small group of students, but we believe that we can serve them well and meet the standards and meet what TEA is asking us to do with regard to providing a face-to-face option for students on September 21st.
And will there be transportation provided for this special opt-in program?
Absolutely. We are working on that right now. So if your child is given the opportunity based on need and your family decides to take part in this program and you need transportation, that will be provided to you and your family.
Next question is, can my child be included if he or she is not part of this group?
At this point, we're only looking at this select group of individuals that are taking the state assessment that we've given throughout the years. If your child is not part of that group, at this point, we're not offering anybody else the opportunity for a face-to-face. But if you have a specific need, then I encourage you to reach out to your campus, and we'll take everything on a case-by-case.
And what if families are having internet connectivity issues at their home?
Yeah, that's one of the things that TEA also mentioned is that you have to provide a face-to-face option for students that have connectivity issues or device issues. Fortunately for us, we're a one-to-one district. All of our elementary students have iPads and all of our secondary students have Chromebooks. So on the hardware side, we're good. And the city of McAllen and the county of Hidalgo have been doing a tremendous job supporting McAllen ISD. We've handed out over 8,000 hotspots. The city of McAllen is putting out dishes on the south side to give people connectivity down there. And the county of Hidalgo is currently looking at providing connectivity on the north side of town. So at this point, it's one big team effort for connectivity. But if your child is experiencing problems with hardware, with the iPad or the Chromebook, or you have issues with connectivity, please reach out to your campus and we'll do our very best to help you. And if there's anything else that we can do for you beyond that, then we'll take everything on a case-by-case.
Will all 31 McAllen ISD schools be open during this time?
No, at this time, what we're going to do is, since the number is smaller, we're looking at approximately, and again, this is an educated guess, our best hypothesis at this point is that we're looking at approximately 300 kids. So we're looking at 9 elementary sites, and we'll be putting the 9 elementary sites out in the book. So when we make the adjustment, we'll be coming up with version 1.1 of our plan, and we'll include the 9 elementary sites. We'll also include the 6 middle schools and the 3 comprehensive high schools. So not every school will be open, but every child that qualifies for this program will have an opportunity for a face-to-face program in one of our facilities across the district.
And what is the district doing to ensure the safety of those students and staff members who will return to face-to-face learning?
Well, that's priority number one. If you look at the safety of our students and the safety of our staff, and we've been doing a great job in the area of cleanliness and doing our very best to, we're using an antimicrobial agent called Gold Shield. It's pretty much a fogger, a mist that has a life of approximately 2 weeks. It kills bacteria and viruses. So we're spraying our buildings and fogging them with this Gold Shield. We've also added hand sanitizers to every classroom in the district. We're installing hand washing stations. We're also making sure that facial coverings is going to be a standard for those that are taking part in this program. We're also going to utilize social distancing to the best of our ability and come up with strategic ways to keep kids safe and apart when they're eating and when they're in the library and during transition periods. And we're also going to do our very best to keep our buses clean. We've been doing a good job with that as well, as far as cleaning the buses before, during, and in the afternoon. And the same thing with food service. So I think just like every organization across the world, everybody's just really upped their game in this particular area. So we feel confident that we're going to provide a nice, clean environment for people to learn and for people to teach. And we're encouraging that if you're part of the population that has an option, then strongly consider it, because we're going to do our very best to keep your children safe and to keep our staff safe. And that'll give us an opportunity to learn a lot as we get closer to the October 19th date.
And why have some other school districts not yet announced a change in distance learning?
At this point, one of the, I guess, challenges is if you're looking at it from a regional standpoint, some school districts started later. So not every school district started on the 24th of August. Some didn't start till into September. So that throws off their 8-week periods and when they're expected to have their face-to-face models.
And our plan was released late on Friday. Why was that?
One of the things is we knew that we had 4 weeks of runway. When we started on August 24th, we had 4 weeks of runway that TEA allowed. Then TEA said, if you go to your board with a waiver, then you have an opportunity to go an additional 4 weeks. So that was the 8-week period that gets us through October 19th. What TEA then said, and we learned through Region 1, is that we had to provide a face-to-face opportunity for students starting on September 21st. So we very quickly, after we learned this, we very quickly started to put a plan into place. And it took us a week and a half to come up with this plan that I'm talking about with regard to something that was going to keep most of our teachers home. When you look at only 10 teachers having to come in out of 1,588, we wanted to find a model that was going to keep most teachers home. We wanted to find a model that was going to utilize staff members that had flexibility within their schedules. And then we wanted to have a model that was going to have a positive effect on adding value to a group of students that needed it. So once we looked at this particular group, it took us some time to formulate it. And then we worked very hard to get it out because we knew we were going to do a report regarding to the board on September 14th. So we pushed to get it out on September 11th, and that was the Friday it came out late because we wanted this to happen. We wanted people to be able to ask us questions. We wanted to get feedback from the community before we went to the board to present. So once we went to the board to present, we already had a cross-section of feedback from the community that was beneficial. We were able to answer these questions, make some adjustments and things of that sort. So for anybody that got it late, and I know it was later into the night on September 11th, we do apologize for not getting it out earlier in the afternoon, but that's really the story on why it came out late on Friday.
And one of the last questions that we're going to have is this one. I am concerned that 62 McAllen High students have dropped out of the 2021 senior class since June 20th. According to the rank letter posted today, what is being done to address this loss, and how will the district work to recover those students so that they can graduate?
Yeah, right now it's everybody working as a team. We're doing our very best right now to locate any student that hasn't begun taking part in our program. We're reaching out to families to emphasize the importance of our distance learning program. Everybody within the organization is doing our very best based on the circumstances that we're dealing with. We feel confident that when we do get back, that we're going to provide a quality environment for these students. And if they're not with us yet, we're going to continue looking for them. So if there's anybody out there that has a child that should be enrolled in McAllen ISD and you haven't started, please reach out to your campus. Please reach out to central office so that we can help you get back on track. But to answer the question is we're doing our very best to get our students back.
And our last question is, will McAllen ISD consider allowing students to participate in extracurricular activities in the near future?
Dr. Ivan Melendez, in his authority as the Hidalgo County the health authority, he put out an order that prevented face-to-face practice with regard to extracurriculars through September 27th. So what we want to do is we want to go all the way through that order, and the order will be lifted on the 27th of September. So once the order is lifted, we'll come together and we'll make a decision with regard to extracurricular activities. Any other questions, Jake?
No, that was our final question, and I imagine we'll have more coming up.
Okay, so anybody who watches the Super Talk today, I hope that these questions and answers are beneficial to you. You can continue sending questions out through our social media platforms and our emails, and we can come back and do this again if we start to see more questions come in, Jake, so that we can go out to our community and answer them, because we want everybody to be informed, and we want everybody to know that McAllen ISD is making our best effort in this environment to produce quality results. So we'll continue doing that. We're excited about the opportunity moving forward. Please keep in mind that you're going to have the option of keeping your kids at home for the distance learning that they're experiencing right now. You're going to have an opportunity to bring them to school, traditional school, where they'll be going through a schedule and working through their day, much like our traditional setting. Or you're going to have a choice for a mix of that, where you'll be able to send them to school on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and keep them home for remote learning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're trying to, when we get to the 8-week, provide our families with choice so that we can meet the needs of all of our families. So please remember, you're going to be able to come to school, stay home, or do a mix of that. And I do also want to encourage everybody to download the McAllen ISD app. If you go to the App Store and you type in McAllen ISD, it'll be the first app that comes up. And that's beneficial because it's the first of its kind in our area, and we're very proud of our McAllen ISD app. And you can turn on notifications, and it can keep you abreast of all the things that are going on in the district. So once again, if you haven't downloaded the app, please do so. We had our previous Super Talk around the app, and we had about 1,000 people sign up. So we're hoping that we get the message out again. Spread the good news with your friends. And once again, if you have any questions that weren't asked and answered in this segment of the Super Talk, please get with us on social media or send us an email. And once we compile a list of questions, we'll come back on and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. So thank you for joining us today, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.